Good morning, friends. This side Shruti from PT Tutorials. I'm a PT coach in PT Tutorials Sources Group. The main motive of today's webinar is today I will describe and I will will try to discuss in detail about the important tasks in PTE-A exam. The very first important thing that one should know about the scoring pattern about PTE exam, because there are 20 tasks basically. And another important thing is, this paper is not about IELTS, just IELTS is about, because in IELTS, if you are doing only writing part, then you will be getting the score for only writing. But this is not the case in PTE exam. So if speaking is there, and as this is an online paper, speaking is there, you will be getting the score from reading also, plus you will be getting the score for listening also. And definitely for all those tasks which are having 2 module scores, those tasks are the most important tasks. Always keep this thing in mind whenever you start your practice. First of all, go for high weight tasks, because this is really very important to know from which particular tasks I will be getting the maximum score. And definitely some people they need 65 plus, and some people need 79 plus. And when 65 plus is there, 7 each score if a person needs, definitely he or she should only do high weight tasks, means 2 module scores tasks. A person should focus on those tasks. In speaking, we have 5 tasks. First task is read aloud. We are aware that from read alouds, we will be getting the score for reading as well as speaking. In repeat sentences, listening, speaking. Describe images, only and only speaking is there. So only and only focus on fluency, nothing else. Retell lectures, listening and speaking is there. Answer short questions, 3 things are there. Two communicative skills are indulged here, and 1 enabling skill is there. Listening, speaking and vocabulary. In repeat sentences, 1 repeat sentence has maximum 13 marks. And suppose in exam you got 13 sentences and total score will be 169. And this is really very big amount of scores. The second thing you must be thinking that if 169 marks we will be getting from repeat sentences, but our speaking paper and all other modules are also of maximum 90 marks. One thing is there, you need to focus on the total score. If I'll be making the aggregate of total scores of speaking module, it will be more than 300. And that's why in speaking only, basically, if we commit some errors, still people are getting 90. Because this is a percentile game. Suppose in last one of the webinars, I explained this thing also, that suppose my speaking paper was of 320 marks and I scored 280 marks. And 280 divided by 320 multiplied by 90 upon 90 means I'm going to take the percentile. The score will be 79 out of 90. That's why after committing so many errors and after the deduction of 40 marks, still I was able to get 8 each, 8 band in speaking. That is the magic of speaking actually. And only repeat sentences are having the highest weight in PTE exam, because nowhere else you get these many, the number of tasks you will be getting here, number of questions you will be getting here, and repeat sentences will be the highest one. Nowhere In any other module, you will be getting 12 or 13 sentences. And if you will be getting, suppose, an answer short questions, sometimes you get 10 to 12 answer short questions, but the scoring is too low, only 1 mark is there. And that 1 mark you earn from answer short questions is only and only for listening, not for speaking. I'll explain later this thing. Now, speaking the score that you get from repeat sentences, oral fluency 5 marks, pronunciation 5 marks, and listening is about content. And maximum score for content is 3. So if you need good score from listening, focus on content too. If you people in between have any difficulty, you can raise your questions in question answer tab, and you can also put your queries in the chat box. Next is read alouds. One read aloud is of 15 marks. Suppose an exam I got 6 read alouds, and basically you people get 6 to 7 read alouds. Generally 6 are there, and 15 6 are 90. It means 90 score, earlier 169 plus add 90. So read aloud, basically scoring depends upon oral fluency, pronunciation, and reading score will be coming out from content. And if you are fumbling once in read alouds, your score in reading will be either 77 or 78. That's why focus on reading. Focus on read alouds on the content. Basically, if we see that read aloud is very easy task. Why it is easy? One paragraph will be there in front of you, and you just have to read those lines. And reading is not a big deal. On the other hand, this is one of the trickiest tasks, because the score I'll be getting from content is entirely dependent on the score of pronunciation. If I'm not pronouncing any word correct, definitely I will not get the score for content. And if content score is less, means reading score is less. That's why concentrate on read alouds. And generally I have seen that people generally study people who want to go to Australia or Canada, because in Canada also some universities take PTE exam. They don't even bother about read alouds. And after that, when the score will be there, pronunciation 20 30, and then reading score, listening score will be too less, would not have crossed 40 or 50 plus in reading or listening. That's why I'm saying pronunciation is really very important thing. Now another thing, see here, I wrote that reading score depends upon content. Then how much score I'll be getting from content? Maximum 5. But in each case, that number is 5. But how that scoring is distributed in different lines? See here. The question I have raised here, how much score we get for reading from one read aloud? 5 marks is there, maximum. But how much I'll be getting for those 5 marks, from those 5 marks? It entirely depends on the length of the read aloud. If particular read aloud is having more words, definitely you will get more score, more weight from that task. It is not only that 5 score you will be getting, it is about percentile. Sometimes out of those 5 score, suppose you got 3 marks, 3 out of 5 in one read aloud, and another read aloud, so 2 out of 5. And in this way, if we count number of read alouds, then it will be, suppose I got 6 read alouds, and from each read aloud maximum score is 5. So I'll be getting 5 6 are 30. Out of 30, maximum suppose I scored 22. So 22 divided by 30 will not go into your reading. 22 divided by 30 multiply by some number must be there, because these modules are based on percentiles. So that's why it is really very important that you are focusing on read alouds in a good way. If your pronunciation is not good, it means you are gone. You are gone for listening as well as for reading. Next is about retail lectures. In retail lectures, maximum you get 2 to 5 retail lectures, and one retail lecture is having 15 marks. Suppose an exam, I have taken the example here, you got 3 retail lectures, and 15 threes are 45. It is again a big score, 169 plus 90 plus 45. And retail lecture score is based on in speaking, oral fluency plus pronunciation, and listening score, content, 5 marks. 5 marks for fluency, 5 for pronunciation, and 5 for content. Now, how I will be getting the score for fluency and pronunciation and listening? Content. Now, what content is? Content means number of keywords you will be using in one retail lecture will give you the content score, and that score will be counted in listening module. And how I'll be getting those scores? One really very important thing, I have seen many people, they were saying that, ma'am, I was I completely gave my paper in a good way, and I used maximum keywords in retail lectures, but my listening score is not good, because when I see the scorecard, pronunciation score is not good. See, when pronunciation score is not good, it means whether you have jotted down or you have spoken the keywords, maximum keywords, but the pronunciation is not correct. Now, software will not be able to listen to capture those words. It entirely depends upon pronunciation. I usually say this thing that pronunciation and content, they are the couple. How the software will be able to get to know that, okay, Shruti has spoken these many keywords. But when scanning will be going on, remember one thing. If I'm pronouncing the word correct, only then software will understand that, okay, this was the keyword that she's using in her retail lecture. Only then I'll be getting the score for pronunciation plus and then content. First we get the score for pronunciation, after that we get the score for content. And fluency, definitely. One important thing that I want to discuss here about fluency. What is the meaning of fluency? Suppose I'm speaking 2 words, 3 words. You people can say this thing, I am fluent. You people will not say. Fluency will be only there if you are speaking some lines, some group of words in one go, without fumbling, without taking unnecessary pauses. And if you will be speaking in one go, only then software understands first fluency, then it will give you the score for pronunciation, and in the end you will be getting the score for content. That's why these things are really very important to understand first, then start working on one by one area. Coming next, I will give your queries answers at the end after finishing the webinar. Then as the answer short questions. For listening, it is really very important. I believe that what my mind says, you don't get any score for speaking here. Why I'm saying this? No doubt, some people will feel that I'm saying absurd. But no, if we, what my understanding says, in speaking, you only get maximum score for maximum one score, and that one score goes only in listening. And why my this intuition I become very clear about this thing. One girl gave exam, and she took so much time in read alouds and in read lectures. She spoke around 35-38 seconds in read lectures. That's why at the end, when she was doing answer short questions, 5 answer short questions she skipped because time was running, and it time run, and 5 answer short questions she was not able to see, and she was not able to speak then. But still, her score was 90. And as if I see the meaning of fluency, fluency says, meaning of fluency says when I'm uttering a couple of words, when I'm uttering sentences, only then I'll be getting the score for speaking fluency. And fluency score goes in speaking. And in answer short question, either I speak one word, generally we speak one word, and or couple of words, only say 2 or 3 couple of words will be there. And by uttering 2-3 couple of words, software will not understand you are speaking something. If that answer will be there, and suppose I'm uttering the answer for answer short questions, in the software has its own answers for answer short question. When I'm saying that word will check only the pronunciation and then content, and content score will go to your listening, and then you will be getting the score for vocabulary also. It will get highlighted in the list of answer short questions which are already present in the software. Okay, someone is saying, can you please be a bit louder? I'll try to be more. Is this voice okay now? Next is our reading module. The most important task in reading module is reading writing blanks. Why I'm saying this? Again, in your reading module, only this particular task, reading writing module, is having 2 module score. One is reading, another is writing. One question has on an average 4 to 6 blanks. And I have taken an average here that there will be, suppose, 5 blanks in one paragraph. And I got 5 reading writing paragraphs. And in that case, total score will be 5 5s are 25. And see here, total reading module score is, I have done some calculations. Let's understand these things. RW blank, suppose I got on an average 22 marks from reading writing blanks. Maximum score I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the number of scores you will be getting in reading writing blanks. Some reading writing blanks, suppose you got 3 blanks, in somewhere you got 4 blanks, and somewhere you got 5. So on an average I have taken here 22 marks. Then reading fill in the blanks, I have taken here 15 marks. MCQs both types, 2 marks for if I got 2 questions, and 2 maximum we will get 2 score for a single answer MCQ, and 4 answers for 4 marks for 2 questions based on multiple answers MCQ. And reorder, suppose in one reorder I got 2 reorders, and in one reorder I got 3 pairs, then 3 marks. In another reorder I got 4 pairs, then 4 marks. Total marks will be 7 marks. So if I calculate 22, 15 plus 6 plus 7, the score will be 50 marks. What about rest of the 30 marks? And now that's why in read aloud, I said I'll be getting 6 read alouds and 15 marks for each. 90 score is there, and out of those 90, how much score you will be getting for reading module? 5 marks from each read aloud. 5 6 are 30, that is. So 50 plus 30, it will be 80. Sorry, what about rest? 40 marks here should be. and 80 score is here. And what about those another tasks which are based on highlight correct summary, highlight incorrect words, and um, that's it. So focus on one more task is there, summarize written text. That's why I'm saying not only 5 score you will be getting from content in read alouds, the score can be large, because when we take the percentile, then it becomes, if we take the percentile of small numbers, say 3 out of 5 into 90, score will be more, score will be less. 3 out of 5 multiplied by 90, score will be very less out of 90. But when 3 out of 5 we only see, that is okay. 3 out of 5, only deduction of 2 marks. When the percentile game is there, never feel that even a single task, I will say sometimes even the MCQs or some listening fill in the blanks, one marker questions, they will also carry great score when percentile is there. So to get high score in reading, focus on 3 main tasks. One is read aloud, then reading, writing blanks, and last one is summarize written text. If someone wants to score 65 plus, 65 in each, definitely he or she should focus on these 3 tasks basically. Next, writing module. Summarize written text. First of all, we get in writing module, and one summarized written text is having 7 marks. And you may get an exam 1 to 4 summarized written text. Recently, one person got only 1 summarized written text, and there were 2 essays. And suppose you got 3 summarized written text in exam, writing score will be 21. This is what about I'll be getting the score for writing. But what about reading score? We are getting the score for reading from 1 summarized written text. We people are not aware of the score that we will be getting from 1 summarized written text, which will go into your reading module. Just try to focus and try to think rather, why PTE score guide only reveals the scores for main tasks. For example, if this particular summarized written text is coming in writing module, only the score for writing is there, not they have revealed the score for reading. Only one thing is written, partial credit. What about that partial credit? Half of marks? I will say no. Actually, the main problem is that there would have been, say, 200, 300 summarized written text paragraphs, which PT and we get in PTE exam. I'm just taking an average. Suppose out of those 200 paragraphs, we people are not aware how many students will use how many keywords from one particular paragraph. It means the software itself doesn't count, even cannot count the number of keywords one person will be using. But definitely there will be some percentile setup. Giving one example. Suppose the paragraph is of having 200 words. Now, out of those 200 words, when the scanning will be going on of your written paragraph in one sentence, your sample response, then some of the words, they will get highlighted. What words will be highlighted? Only those which will be the main keywords. And out of the basis on those highlighted keywords, you will be getting the reading score. And definitely, software cannot tell this thing to you, and software and Pearson cannot reveal this thing in a guide that in one particular paragraph, if you get this paragraph, you will be getting these many scores for reading. Because paragraph to paragraph, number of words they will change. And when number of words change, means number of keywords change. And when number of keywords change, definitely reading score will vary. And one more thing that I want to discuss here. Um, Suppose out of 200 words in one paragraph, how many keywords maximum it will be having? Keywords means nouns, adjective, adverbs, and important form of verbs. On an average, I'm saying say 50. Now, variation will be there. What kind of variation? Whether I'll be using those 50 keywords in my answer or not. That's why, and another thing, we have to write only one sentence and summarize written text. And if I'll be using all the 50 keywords, which is next to impossible thing, then my word count will be more than 75. And it is really very hard to write one sentence in say 70, 75 words without committing errors. So definitely what my mind says, the person has set up some percentile. If a person will be using 15 keywords out of those set of 50 keywords, we will get them full score for reading module. And this happens. That's why you all should follow the best technique to use the keywords, maximum keywords. And that's why I have written this line in the end. That's why PTE has never revealed those intervened module scores. That is the reason. Coming to the next slide. Next is your essay. Each essay has 15 marks. Suppose you get 2 essays, and total score will be 30. So focus more on this task. 2. When you get 2 essays, sometimes no doubt it will be very tiring in exam when you have to write 2 essays, completely tiring one. And after that you have 2 more modules to answer. So I will say, if you are too good in essays now, then it will be a good thing for you. Because if the number of tasks increases, definitely you get good score from that task. But if you are not good, definitely it will be a problem for you people. And one more thing that I have written, that never use template if you are aiming for 79 plus. I'm saying this thing. When you use templates are itself having 188, 187 words. And just one thing, do you feel that software is having answers for essays? And if it is so, one essay can be written in hundreds of ways. Even now, 58 people are there. If I read one prompt for you all, and then I give the task to you, write your own essay. I will say one copy, one wordings that one person will be writing may not match with the other person. One prompt is having 58 sample responses. And if 100 people will write that particular prompt, 100 responses will be there. Now software will check those 100 copies? No. That's why here also software is not having any answer in its particular list. How software checks these kind of things, these kind of tasks? By collecting the number of keywords. How this happens? I'm just giving one example. In the prompt, software will find some keywords, and definitely keywords are there in each prompt. After that, in the middle, I write those keywords and then mark some lines which are coming out from those keywords. And on those lines, software will be having all the synonyms, all the related words, all the collocations, all the antonyms of those words. And maximum words when they will get highlighted in the software's list of those words, maximum score you will be getting for content. And this is only possible when you will write your own essay, your own wording. Because when template is there, 188 words, suppose you are writing 220 words. Out of those 220 words, 180 words are from template. And you are using the same template for each and every essay. It means those words which are there in the template, those words are not related to the prompt keywords. And why software will give you unnecessary scores? That's why if you are aiming for 65 each, content score may vary because at that time you don't need much score. But for when you are aiming 79 plus, I would say never use template. Because for we people, 1 score, even 0.5, 0.1 score matters. Why I'm saying this thing? Again, percentile game. Next is listening module. In listening, the very first task is summarize spoken text. And in summarize spoken text, there are two scores, two module scores. One is listening, other one is writing. And maximum score that you get from one summarized spoken text is 10 marks. And in an exam, you may get 2 to 3 summarized spoken text. Muskan is saying template means the formal writing. No, darling, template means some already framed lines which will be used in writing part. Total score, if I got 2 summarized written text, total score will be 20. And generally, we get 2 summarized spoken texts. Another important thing that I'm going to discuss here. We all are aware the 10 score we get from summarized spoken text. And it is also mentioned in your PTE score guide that you can download from Google. Now, just one question. Those 10 score that you will be getting from your written lines, which are written, which are having word count 50 to 70, where that score will go? Just writing or listening? Tell me, you can write on the chat box. Anyone? No idea, Muskan is saying. Sumit sir, writing. What else? Moin sir is saying both. Then Moin sir, if both is there, then 5 marks I'll be getting for writing and 5 marks for listening. One more important thing, these 10 scores are not only based for overall 10. That okay, just like in the school exams, teacher is giving us 10 score. She's not giving the score in partial distribution. Only 10 score is there, means out of 10 she's giving us 8 marks. Don't know why she gave 8 marks and on which basis, what kind of errors I was committing and what kind of percentile she has set for those 10 scores. But here you have 3 marks for content, 2 for grammar, 2 for vocabulary, blah blah blah. Is there score that you will be getting is only for writing. Why? Software has no answers for SSTs. Again, software has its no answer for summarized spoken text. And if answers are not there, how the software will give me that score of 10 marks for listening? Whatever the wordings you will be written and summarized spoken text is based on writing. Definitely, I'm writing something, maximum score I'll be getting for writing. And the listening score will be same as we have discussed just now, summarized written text. This is your answer, your written lines. If grammatically it is correct, you made all the perfect sentences, software will give you good writing score. And then when scanning will be going on for the score of listening, number of words that will be highlighted, you'll be getting the listening score. Again, the same thing. If the transcript would be having 200 words, out of those 200 words, software has said that if a person will have used say 10 keywords out of those set 20 or 30 keywords, we will give that person maximum score for listening. In this way, you will be getting the score for writing and listening. Muskan is saying, so is everything evaluated by, yes, of course, Muskan, everything is evaluated by the software. Even if you people go for rechecking, re-evaluation, again, there will be no manual checking. Whole test is evaluated by the software only. Karanam sir is saying it means SST retail lecture keywords will increase our marks. Definitely, sir. Definitely. If someone is getting 72, 73 and listening, I will say you haven't used good amount of keywords in retail lecture and in summarized spoken text. Provided you might have fumbled and repeat sentences also. That's why working overall is really very important when your target is 79 plus. Yes, sir. There are charges for re-evaluation, around about 8-9,000. It is better that you appear again because again the software will check, and once if it has marked some errors, software will again show those things as errors. I have explained this thing that all sentences which you will write is equal to writing. All keywords using in framing sentences equal to listening score. Scanning will be there. Number of keywords they get highlighted. You'll be getting the score for listening. Next, important task for listening module. Very important. And I love this task because generally people commit errors in this task. Name of the task is write from dictation. The word is write from dictation and is coming in listening module. We have to write something. Means listening plus writing score is there. And one more thing. After evaluating thousands of scorecards, I have learned one thing. Here you get more score for writing as compared to listening module. If you commit one single error in write from dictation, you may get 79 in listening, but you will never cross 79 in your writing. Either it will be 77, 76 or 78. That's why be careful. Suppose you got 3 to 5, generally you get 3 to 5 right from dictation. And 1 mark is there for 1 word in one particular sentence. Suppose you got 4 right from dictation with on an average 9 words in each sentence. So total score will be 4 9s are 36. And now again one question. These 36 score will go in which module? Listening or writing? Just tell me. Kharnam sir is saying writing. Sumit sir is saying both. Both, don't say both. Both means partial. I'll be getting 18 score for writing and 18 score for listening. No. Muskan is saying more in writing. No, darling. Vishal sir is saying writing. Here you people are wrong now. This 30 score, 6 score you will be getting for listening module. Why I'm saying this thing? See here. What I'm saying, one word equal to, one correct word equal to 1 mark. First here in this task, right from dictation, you get the score for listening. Why I'm saying this thing? Because in listening, only software needs words. That's it. Then scanning will be going on, and in your response, software uh, gets the words which you have written and are correct. You will be getting the score for listening. After that, giving the score for listening, what will be going on? Software checks your writing. And how it checks your writing? Then comes grammar. Then comes the part of grammar, punctuation. That's why it is said that if in write from dictation, you are not writing the first letter of the first word of that sentence capital, you will be getting less score. Another thing, you are not putting question mark, you are not putting period, you are not putting comma or column, whatever was necessary at that time in that particular write from dictation, you will be getting less score for writing module. And that is the reason in write from dictation, if you commit a single error, you get less score for writing, not for listening. Because in writing, you have to, software has to check so many things. First of all, grammatically it is correct or not. You have used all the punctuations and all or not. Another thing, spellings. And if you commit spelling errors, neither you get the score for listening nor writing. Remember this thing. Clear? And one more important, that is just a complimentary gift from my side. Extra tip. Generally, people ask, ma'am, if we write extra words in write from dictation, will it be okay? I don't recommend this thing to do. Why? If I'm writing extra words in one sentence, because people they get confused when they are writing their answer, whether the speaker said student or students, it is difficult to remember. And in that case, because they are only aware that software only picks, there is no negative marking, and software only picks the words, and I'll be getting the score for the words. Why you people forget you will be getting the score for writing module also? And if that particular sentence is having student and students both, just tell me one thing, that particular sentence is having any sense? Grammatically, it will be incorrect. That's why writing score suffers. Never do this thing. Never ever. I have written this thing because I'm writing score. Software will check grammar too and grammatically. In writing part, what else software or a teacher will check? Just tell me. Software and the teacher will check. Subject is there. Okay. Helping verb you have used. It was needed or not. Depends. You have written and it was correct helping verb, correct form of verb you have used, correct object is there, adverb, adjective, everything is Correct. Then nothing else in grammar is there, provided the commas and all the punctuation rules. It means in that case, when you are writing extra words, write in one sentence as per writing score, that thing is incorrect because sentence will be grammatically incorrect. That's why you get less score in writing. Don't do this thing when you are aiming 79 plus. Never ever. This was all about your today's webinar. Let me discuss your queries. Lakhvinder sir is saying, so does this mean attempting all questions is less important than answering them correctly? Why you are thinking this kind of question, sir? Attempting all questions, if you are aiming 65 plus, I would say first work on the strategies and then attempt them. Why you are saying this thing that answering them correctly is not so important? Why it is important? Because if you will give wrong answer, this is software. For particular tasks, uh, software has answers like repeat sentences, answer short questions, and moreover, keywords are always there in the list of the software, all the tasks. So never think like this. Uh, Patricia is saying, when you say percentile, which set of people are considered for percentile? Which set of people? Wrong question, ma'am, or sir, here. Percentile means I have PTE has released some tasks, scores for each and every task. But they give the total score, aggregate score is from 90. And in that case, definitely they have to take the percentile. 3 out of 5 multiplied by 90, say, in spelling. That's why you people get very less score in spelling, sometimes 17, 21. Because total score of spelling is 8 in throughout your speaking in throughout your PTE score. So suppose you are getting 5 out of 8. 5 out of 8 multiplied by 90, that will be 56. That's why you get 56 out of 90. And if you have committed more errors, 2 out of 8, suppose you got 2 out of 8 multiplied by 90 equal to 21. And it means, and you feel that 21 out of 90 means don't know how many mistakes I have done in spellings. This is a game of percentile. Raj Kiran is saying, ma'am, then why this task is part of listening section? I think you are talking about summarize spoken text because you are listening also. That's why here you are getting the score for listening. That's why. Next question is Mohammed sir is asking, my listening score is not improving. I'm getting only 17. Sir, focus on your repeat sentences, retell lecture, summarize spoken text, and write from dictation. Hope you have jotted down these things. And try to add maximum keywords in retell and in summarize spoken text. Karnam is asking, ma'am, will spelling include any other factor like giving extra space? Yes, sir. When you are writing in your PTE exam, if you are giving double bar space in between, and by chance sometimes it happens because we wanted to press one time, but by chance unknowingly we press two times. It means software will consider it as spelling errors. It counts in grammar error, and spellings are also there. So never press double space bar. In spellings you got 30 because just now I have explained maximum score for spelling is 8, and if you commit in one task more than one errors, spelling errors, you get 0 score. Remember this thing, out of 2. Maximum spelling score in one task is 2. And if you commit more than one error in spelling, you get 0 score out of 2. So total, there are 4 tasks over which you will be getting the score for spelling. That's why if you got 5 score out of 8 in spelling, when software takes a percentile, the score is less. 5 out of 8 multiplied by 90 is 56 out of 90. It doesn't mean that you have committed these many errors. What is the weight of answer short question and listening? 1 mark for one correct answer, 0 mark for giving the answer incorrect. That's why sometimes people say incorrect answer in answer short questions, still they are getting speaking full. Moin sir is asking, is there any app to check our pronunciation? I will say, sir, don't do this thing to check your pronunciation through any app, because if you are from India, definitely mother tongue influence will be there. And I'm giving one example. We say the word alternate or alternative. Actually, the pronunciation of this word is not alternative or alternate. This is alternative. But if you will speak this word in Google, software will pick the word. Why? Because what kind of Google you are using? Just tell me. Google.co.in. What is the meaning of that in? If it is in Australia, it will be .au. If it is in New Zealand, it will be NZ. It means inbuilt this thing is there in the software of those sites, of those applications. They will check your pronunciation. For this, I would recommend one thing. First of all, try to listen to native speakers. The more you will listen, the more you will understand their pronunciation and try to implement their pronunciation in your language when you are speaking, or you are definitely when you are speaking and when you are listening also. Another important thing that I will say here, um, do one thing. Record your own voice. Take one paragraph, record your own voice, then play that voice, and in Google, open any website which will convert audio to text and mark there Australia or British language. Then when your recording will be there, and when you will upload that recording in that particular website, after that, though it will show your spoken text in front of you will be there. So definitely then check how many words the software or that link has taken wrong. This you can do. I missed the initial part. Anvesha, you will get the link of the recording of today's session. No worries. How much important is MCQs? As this is the percentile game, 1 mark may carry 5 marks. So everything is important when you are aiming 79 plus. But when you are aiming less, then I will say, forget it. Karnam sir, backspace issue, I think I have explained while I was explaining the spelling score. Satish sir, monotonous reading will affect our score. What kind of monotonous reading you are talking about? If you need good score in reading, focus on 3 things: summarize written text, reading writing blanks, and read alouds. If I forget a word, Sumit sir is asking in WFT, and I replace them some other synonym. Definitely, sir. That word will not get highlighted in the software's list. You will not get the score for listening. You will not get the score for writing. No, sir, it will not be okay in writing. First listening score you get, after that writing score you get. Gaurav is asking, can we use same template for both SST and RL? But do one thing, that template should have good quality of vocabulary if you are using that template in summarized spoken text. But if you use a good quality, high vocab word in read a lecture, I would say chances will be there that you will fumble. So there, keep it easy one, and then summarize spoken text. Gaurav, you may follow PT tutorials, summarize spoken text. It is really very good, and I have implemented that in my real exam. That's why I have sent that. Someone is asking, don't know why I'm getting 1 mark less in listening. I'm getting 7 overall, but 64 in listening, other than 3 module score. Simar, I would suggest you to work on your retell, repeat sentences, summarize spoken text, and write from dictation. Definitely next time you will get more than 75. The ranger sir is saying, if we get 3 summarized written text and 2 essays, no sir, this will never possible. Then the paper will be very lengthy, and this will never ever happen. 3 summarized written text and 2 essays. And 2 essays are there, you will either get 2 summarized written text or 1 summarized written text. And how this can be calculated for 90 marks? 51 marks you get from summarized written text or say essay. After that, sir, you are getting the score for reading, writing blanks, right from dictation is there. When total score will be around 250 or 200, then they take the percentile, and then you get the score from 90. RS is bit long. Raj is saying will cost us for getting 79 plus considering the fluency. If you are getting longer repeat sentences, and PD is not mad that they will give you all repeat sentences longer. Only 2 to 3 will be there. And in that case, when personal game is there, I will say this thing, I will recommend this thing. Try to speak as many words as you can in longer sentences. And speak those 7-8 words in one go. If you will speak those 7-8 words, you will get 2 score out of 3 in content. And it is not a bad score. Never ever compromise on fluency. I explained in this lecture that when you are speaking 2 words, then fumbling, 2 words, then fumbling, 2 words, then fumbling, because you tried to collect the content. And when fluency, fumbling is there, fluency 0. And when fluency is not there, you don't get the score for pronunciation. Pronunciation score is not there, you don't get the score for content. That's why you people, because of your fumbleness in your repeat sentences, you get less score in listening. Karnam is saying, last time my speaking score was 37. So work on your pitch. And I would recommend you to watch PD tutorials video by repeatedly getting the score in speaking. This will really help you. Girish is saying, I have heard that using backspace gives you less spelling score. Sir, I don't believe these things. Is it equal marks by PD software? Gaurav is asking if we use our mother tongue. No, sir. You will not get good score in pronunciation if you will use mother tongue. I'm also using mother tongue, but your pronunciation should be correct. It should not be like the word is something else and you are pronouncing it something else. Then it is a problem. Shobana is asking, how can we improve reading, writing, fill in the blanks? Ma'am, for reading, writing, fill in the blanks, you need to work on your number 1, understanding. Number 2, collocations. And number 3, grammar. With the combination of these three skills, you will get 100% correct reading writing plans. And I have given the answers for all your queries. Hope you liked today's session. From where the host is picking the questions, what kind of questions you are talking about? Could you please let me know what you mean by keywords? Keywords means nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and important form of verbs. Raj is saying, ma'am, in my exam I have scored 85 in written discourse. Means 85 in written discourse means you're right. Sentences were clear. But you did errors in write from dictation and you did errors in your reading writing plans. That's why your reading score is less, writing score is less. Hiren sir, what is your question? Post it again. Nitesh, for retail lecture, how much content or keywords we should speak? As much as you are able to write. Because more keywords will be there, more score for retail listening you will be getting. Hardik sir is asking, in WFT does matter word sequence? Yes, it matters. Word sequence matters because you need the score for your writing. How can I write? If you need to write any numerals like 300, write them in words, not in numerals. Shabana is saying, can we get the list of collocation? Ma'am, you can download this list of collocation from Google, just like write PTE collocations. But this list is too lengthy, 45, 47 pages are there. My question is, how much important MCQ is? MCQs are important. Suppose you are stucking at 77 and you haven't ever practiced MCQs. And if you have practiced them and you have answered them correctly, definitely you might have scored 79. And at that time, you understand the importance of 1 mark. Hiren sir, questions are repeated. Can we do last test in such consideration? I didn't understand the meaning of can we do last test into such consideration. What is the meaning of this line? Are there any other modules other than speaking section that carries? No, sir. No, Karnam, there is no other score, other module from which you will be getting speaking score because nowhere else you speak anything other than speaking module. Hiren sir, type your question. Nitesh sir, in WFP if we get marks per word, then why a single error will stop at 79 plus? Because you are getting the score for writing also. And when you commit some errors in writing, it means you are committing errors grammatically. You are committing errors as per the rules of grammar. Punctuation errors or spelling errors are there. That's why you don't get writing scores 79 plus. Ravi sir, to get 79, how many questions should be correct from the total? All, I would say. This is the percentile game. You should never ask these kind of questions. When 79 is the target, it means your target is 90 each. Work like that. Hiren sir, ma'am, I would like to know that in the test questions are repeated from the last test conducted. This depends on your luck, sir. In the last test, suppose you get one summarized spoken text. Again, if you get that same summarized spoken text, I will say this is entirely based on your luck. Which module to concentrate in speaking more than to cross 55 in speaking? Of course, sir. In speaking in itself, you have to concentrate. Tejeswar Reddy is asking, and right from dictation task, if I miss one word in the middle sentence, how much score will be reduced? -1 for, you will not get 1 score for listening, and definitely there will be penalty for writing score. Don't know how much, but definitely it will be there. Because skipping 1 word, maybe that word is if the verb, form of verb, and without form of verb, the sentence would be grammatically incorrect. Grammatically incorrect means writing scoreless. Now I'm going to end the webinar. Hope it was all good, and hope you all liked the session. My pleasure, Ji. My pleasure. Yeah, just saying we really liked it. Thank you so much. And you may avail this webinar's recording after some time, maybe today evening. It was all good. Thank you so much.